Vain. That was the word, vain. He was being vain over the beard.
I bet you think this song is about you.
Oh my gosh.
Well, hey.
Hey there. We're still alive.
We're still alive. I'm Tommy.
I'm Patty.
And we are
Alderman Farms.
And you may have been wondering, where on earth have the Aldermans been? Well, we've been here.
Yeah.
We've been there.
We've been a lot of places.
We've been a lot of places.
We have.
We've been through some ups and downs and rounds and boy. But the good news is we're back. So we thought we'd take a little while to explain to you or give you a glimpse of our 2019 and then give you a glimpse of what we hope our 2020 will be.
That's right. And to start off, I just want to say that, we've been through a lot this last year and really haven't had much of a presence on YouTube, or we've had some social media, not a lot, but mainly YouTube we've really fallen off of. And that's because, our slogan is where life on the farm just got real. And it's been real, y'all. It's been rather hard, and not that we want to hide our real life from you, but we don't just put on a happy face and say, oh, let's do a video and let's act all cheerful. If we're cheerful, it's because we are.
Yeah, we can't do that.
And
what you see is what you get.
Yeah, and honestly, it's been a sad time for us, a hard time, and it wasn't good video material. We weren't in much video making mood. It's been sad. And
mixed in with some wonderfulness.
Yes,
we had some wonderful things happen.
Yes, we did
in 2019. But I don't know what you know. You've heard me talk about stress somewhat, and if any of you have been in my presentations, even wonderful things carry a stress load. And so, especially when you have wonderful things happening in the midst of some not so wonderful things, and so it was a tough year.
It was, and it started back in November of 2018. Mama became bedridden, and she was total care, and it just got progressively more and more. To the point of, even holding the straw where she could drink, and all she was doing was drinking. So we had, that started back in November. We stayed.
Of 2018.
Yeah, of 2018. And we stayed doing videos up until December 2018. And then that's when we told y'all, we just couldn't keep doing our regular live show, and really fell off of doing many videos. We did a few here and there, but really not much.
Not many.
And we would think, well, we're going to get back into it and just, life. And we had gotten out of the routine of doing it. And so,
I wasn't up to it.
Here we are. And, it's been more than just dealing with Mama and everything. We've had a lot going on in our life.
Patty's got a list, y'all.
Yeah, I have a list, a long list.
A long list.
So hopefully this won't be a 2-hour video. But we just wanted to update y'all on our life and where we've been, and like Tommy said, where we hope to be going in 2020. But
before you get started on that, thank you to so many of you who have let us know that you've been praying for us, and we can't tell you how much that means to us.
And that you missed us, that you were thinking about us. That just has meant so much to us, to know that we weren't forgotten, even though we weren't there, and we didn't forget y'all either.
No, and we missed y'all.
We have.
And hey, I see that hand. I'm glad to see you.
That's right. But yeah, I do thank you from the bottom of my heart. So many fellow YouTubers, people that watch us faithfully, y'all have checked on us and encouraged us, telling us you missed us, and we really, really, really appreciate it very much. So.
Yep.
Okay, so let's
see. So you started in November of 18.
Yeah. And then really, of course, we had Christmas and everything went great for Christmas. And Then let's see, I have March written down here.
Before you go past Christmas.
You keep interrupting
I'm
me.
sorry. But before you go past Christmas, just to flash back, because some of this we talked about, but, you know, we were, Patty, weren't we initially hoping and praying that Mama would make it to Thanksgiving? And
We
then,
were, and then
yeah.
hoping and praying she'd make it through
And
Christmas.
then hoping that she would make it to Christmas, and she did, and to see the babies.
Yes, she got to meet, let's see, a great grandbaby that was born
Yeah.
in 2018, and a great grandbaby that was born in 2018. So
yeah.
she was able, we had her pictures made and everything. The whole family, almost every single person in the family was here, minus a few, just a couple. They all came up to Mississippi from Louisiana and surrounding. We've got some in Texas, and Cameron didn't get to come home at Christmas. No, that was this past Christmas. He was at home.
He was home for that one.
He was home too. Our oldest son, Cameron, that's in Oregon. So most of our family got to be here for Mama's last Christmas. So
I
that
mentioned
was
that
a blessing.
simply just to give you a snapshot of where we were emotionally. You know, because there were times when, I mean, Patty woke me up at, I don't remember where this fell in that schedule, but she woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning one morning. Tommy, I think she's gone. And when I first, can you come check? And when I first went in the room, I thought she was too. And then I could see that she breathed, you know. So for months at a time, we were thinking every night when we went to bed, this could be it. And then she would rally and kind of snap out of it. But
She'd get a little bit better.
Bit
She never got all the way back. But one thing, the hospice, which they were amazing. We used hospice
my
compasses,
goodness, yeah.
and they were amazing. And even when it was down to where Mama just had 24 hours to live, the hospice people were scared to say that because of the way Mama has rallied before.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, in March we were able to go to Deep South.
Spring gathering.
Spring gathering. I'm getting tongue-tied.
Deep South Homesteads.
Spring gathering, yes. And also the Pratts came down for that, and so did Bandana Grandma and her husband Mick.
Yeah, Saint Mick.
Saint Mick, yeah. And so that was just an amazing time. That was about a month before Mama died. My sisters came and stayed with Mama where I could go. And so it was really, really an amazing time. That we had. They ended up all coming to the farm and got to see the farm and everything. So it was really a good time. And so, but then April came, and April 12th, Mama died.
She didn't think she was going to do this. This is real.
But anyway, so we had to walk through that. And, you know, that was hard, and we got through it. You know, we had a wonderful funeral for her. All the kids got to come. We did a really neat thing where each grandkid was offered the opportunity just to say a little something that they remembered about Mama. And we didn't record it. Tommy actually did the funeral, him and my nephew Stephen, which is a preacher, and we didn't record it, and I just kicked myself. And you're supposed to get that together, the little things and what everybody wrote. But it was really neat because, you know, I think I've told y'all before, I have a sister that's 23 years older than me. Then my others, that's Evie, and then my next sister is 13 years older than me. And our family is so spread out. And, you know, Mama got time with each set of grandkids and everything. And so it's different times in her life, and different ones remember different things. And she would do, like my kids, Tommy would work shift work when he was a police officer, and she would always bring over ice cream and treat my kids to ice cream. And, you know, so each group of grandkids had different things they remembered about Mama. So it was really special.
And hilarious.
Yeah, and very funny because they said Mama had some things.
I had the pleasure of reading them.
Yeah.
And
So it
hilarious.
was really a neat tribute
Nice
to her.
tribute, yeah.
And
Did we
then,
figure out when the hollers came? Was that 18?
yeah, that was in that was in 18. That was in
18.
November. No, yeah.
We enjoyed them so much we can't even
Yeah.
remember when they were here.
Well, I really had to go back and look at pictures. That's how I realized when they came, because they didn't come. No, they came in 17.
Oh my gosh.
They came in 17. Anyway, because I had to go back and look at pictures because
We did enjoy them so
everything
much.
was
We
so
loved
crazy.
the hollers.
We
those,
did.
Those boys had a blast here. I can't believe that's been since 17.
Yeah.
Man, I'm old.
But anyway, so in May, Corey and Kayla got married. They had a beautiful wedding. It was just, I'm sorry, wait, I'm skipping ahead. Carly Ann graduated from college,
Yes.
from Mississippi State.
Yes.
And so we went over there and stayed a night or so for her graduation. So we're very proud that she graduated.
Yeah, she did.
And then 2 weeks later,
Yeah.
Corey and Kayla,
got married.
on May 18th.
Lovely ceremony.
And it was amazing. Everything went so good. And
They
then
gonna make some pretty babies, y'all.
and we can't wait to get more grandbabies. Then June, the farmers market started. Now I didn't get a garden planted with dealing with everything with Mama and everything, but I had planted my tomatoes. I did that back in March, and so I had my tomatoes planted. So I did have tomatoes for the market.
Time out. There's also another thread running through all of this, and that is I'm gone. A good bit.
Yeah,
of
Tommy
the time.
was working. The first of the year is really busy for him. That's why this video is happening in February instead of January. We've been
Well, that's
planning
part
it.
of the reason.
We've been planning it since December, and we
Yeah.
just haven't got to do it, because he's been out of town a lot.
It's hard to get back in the groove too.
Yeah.
It's like with any other discipline. Once you kind of fall off of the bicycle, it's hard to get back in the groove, and hopefully we're getting ready to do that. And but yeah, so in
that's
the
our
midst
plan.
of all of that Patty has described, I'm in and out, gone for a week at a time, and it was hard.
Yeah, and so anyway, excuse me, the farmers market started in June. And the farmers market had one of the best seasons it's ever had.
Yeah.
It really was amazing.
And we were worried about it.
Well, and we have up and down years and everything, but it really turned out good. I was able to bring tomatoes. Everybody had tomatoes, but I was able to sell our tomatoes. And I meant to look at that, how many pounds of tomatoes I sold. I think it was somewhere around 400 pounds of tomatoes. I'll have to double check on that. I can't remember. But anyway, I was very pleased with my first season of growing tomatoes in the high tunnel. So anyway, and actually I've got my tomato plants ordered. They'll be going in the ground this coming March. So anyway, but another thing happened in June, which some of you may already know about it. I've been having hip problems, and I'd waited until I was through dealing with Mama and everything, and I went on and went to the doctor, and I was diagnosed with degenerative joint disease in my hip. And I've actually went to another doctor, and I guess I haven't really said that on any video or anything, which was hardly been any.
What video?
Yeah, but the doctor explained to me, I have a good friend in Louisiana that's had hip problems, and she just raves about her doctor, so I tried him. And he explained to me that it's the way I'm made. I guess I'm a little deformed. But like the joint itself and the ball, the way my joint is made, it allows my ball joint to bounce a little bit. And that's why I'm having problems with my hip. And also, I remembered I had a wreck.
So you just remembered that
In the last
today
couple of weeks.
or yesterday?
I told you.
Oh,
I
you
kept,
just told
I
me
kept
about it.
forgetting to tell you.
Yeah, right. That was last night you told me.
Yeah, but I had a wreck. I think it was 2016, 15 or 16, where I was turning left and my blinker wasn't working, and the car passed me, and she hit me right on my left side, and I'm thinking that could have sped up my hip problems.
Yeah, could have.
A lot. So anyway, so I'm dealing with my hip problems. I was supposed to be resting for 6 weeks, right in the
6
middle,
weeks.
middle of the farmer's market, right in the middle of harvesting tomatoes.
Almost had to tie her down with a rope.
Yeah, it was not easy. So I was scooting around in Mama's wheelchair, trying not to be standing all the time, using her walker. It was crazy.
She did really good, though. She did better than...
You thought I would
better
do,
than
huh?
I thought
Yeah.
she would, and better than many of you would have thought she did. She
Kayla,
really did
Kayla
well.
helped me a lot with the market.
Kayla
she
was
came,
a huge help.
Yeah, she came and she helped do the bread and also she really helped me a lot. She actually helped me pick tomatoes. Our greatest neighbor in the world, Tommy Nettles, helped me pick tomatoes one time. Tommy helped me pick tomatoes. I mean, I never did go out there and do tomatoes by myself. I always had help. So that was a blessing. And my hip is doing better. I still, I would say I'm limited to a certain extent, but I'm just going at it full steam. And when I need to have surgery, I'll have to have surgery. So that's just life. So, but then June, July brings some health problems along for Tommy. You want to tell him about that?
Yeah, well, I guess it was really, I would say it culminated in June and July. So
Let me interrupt you now for a minute. I know I went from dealing with Mama to Mama dying to Corey's wedding, Carly Ann's graduation. Now I'm at farmer's market. Hardly time to breathe. And when Mama died, I had done nothing as far as finding a dress for the wedding and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I hit the ground running. And this whole time, I'm doing okay. Of course, I'm still crying. I wake up every morning and would cry. But, I'm doing okay. And I'm still thinking in my mind, I don't want to get busy with life and forget to grieve, because I know that that's a process that we have to go through. You have to go through the grieving process.
An important process.
It is.
It's a necessary process.
And I'm knowing this, and I'm talking to myself. I'm thinking, I don't want to not grieve, but I'm okay. I'm okay. Now go ahead with your story.
Well, so, we had a couple of things she didn't mention is we had a family member who experienced a violent assault.
In 2018.
Yeah, but it carried over.
Yeah, it carried over, that's right.
Because of the legal stuff and all that, it carried over. I'm kind of at a stopping point here because we're live, or we're pretending to be live, but hang on just a minute. Be right with you.
Later.
Okay. There's some other things happening that Patty's got further down on her list, but this was all building. Things at my job were piling up on me. I'm a project manager for a public safety software company, and we had a huge countywide project that was involving multiple law enforcement agencies, a 911 center, and I was kind of doing it all by myself. Bit off more than I could chew, frankly. That's just honest. That's just real. I thought I was ready to do more of it than I really was. And you know what? If all this other stuff hadn't been going on, maybe I would have been. I don't know that. But the biggest problem was I should have asked for help and I didn't. And so...
And also, Tommy's going through a grieving process too. It was my mama, but she was in our house, and there was a closeness there. Tommy helped me a lot with Mama,
yeah.
so I mean, he's going through this too. So
Sure.
I think that helped add to
so
his stress.
Right. It was a multitude of things, and yes, it took a toll on me. The up and down with Mama, with Patty's mom, where we thought death was imminent so many times, and then it wasn't, and you let yourself rejoice in that, but that it takes a physical toll, when you sink so low and then you come back and you sink again anyway. And Patty, feel free to jump in if I shorten this too much, but bottom line is I woke up one day thinking I was having a heart attack. Mm-hmm. And I was very nauseous, in fact, vomited My chest was very tight and, you know, having chest pains or really pressure, which is what I remember, you know, my dad, when he had his massive heart attack years ago, he said he felt like an elephant was sitting on his chest.
yeah.
Mine wasn't that, but it was tight and, you know, I vomited and all, so we went to the hospital.
Well, let me back
go
up
ahead. Yeah.
because leading up to that, Tommy had been
yeah.
having a problem with his blood pressure. It had been being really low, so we had been monkeying with his blood pressure medicine. And I told him to call the doctor, that
Yeah.
the doctor needed to be. But anyway, his blood pressure was like really low, and he's on blood pressure medicine. He was on 2 different blood
It was
pressure
when
medicines.
during that time I had lost a good bit of weight, the right way.
Well, but
you know.
your weight loss, you had lost your weight 2 months prior to your blood pressure going low.
No, right.
You know, so it wasn't like, oh, you've lost all this weight, all of a sudden your blood pressure dropped. It wasn't. It was like, why now? You know,
Yeah.
why didn't it do this 2 months ago?
Yeah.
So I mean, we've been monkeying with the blood pressure medicine. Well, then he gets into this stress situation with work. He's actually up at a fire station doing a class.
A 911 center.
Oh, a 911 center. Well, they had fire.
Oh,
trucks
no.
there.
It wasn't a fire. We were doing police training at the fire station.
See, I'm
sorry,
right.
you're
I'm
always
right.
right.
But
She's
anyway.
always right.
What can I say? But anyway, so I get the call to bring him another blood pressure medicine because his blood pressure has skyrocketed. And it had to do with all the stress and just everything building up. So then I go up there and I get him, well,
No. You brought me the
I
medicine.
brought you the medicine. I stayed with him, and his blood pressure did come down some. It was
little.
but it wasn't to the point where we needed to go to the hospital. And so we came home. He actually drove his vehicle home and everything. So then the next day
Did I drive home?
yeah.
I guess I did.
So then the next day is when he woke up with the elephant on his chest.
Actually, the night before, I flirted with the idea of going to the hospital.
Yeah. And so
But it kind of subsided,
Yeah.
you know, and I felt okay. And I know, stupid. I'm a man.
So the next morning is when he woke up and he
Yeah.
actually threw up and was having these symptoms. So we went to the ER.
Yep.
And so he
So
had,
everything checked out,
Yep.
all the heart stuff. We did all the tests. Everything checked out fine.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor was great. And, you know, so bottom line, it was anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to go see my doctor a day or so after that, right? Something like that. I took a few days off.
it may have been the next day, or it may have been that day.
I don't know. But
I can't remember.
guys from my office, 4 hours from here, came down, saved the day, picked up my slack. And I was in there talking. I love my doctor. We're like friends, you know. I mean, we don't hang out or anything, but you know, he
a real nice
he
guy.
loves our family, and Patty brings him bread all the time, which is probably why he loves us. He don't like me. He just likes the bread. But no. And so we got to talking about it, and he said, Tommy, he said, I believe what has happened to you is that when you went through the horrific event in December 2016 with the dog attack and all that your neuroreceptors or neurotransmitters, I don't remember, neuroreceptors or
things in
transmitters
there.
or something, got fried. And he said, you had a nice, easy 2017. 2018 was not much, you know. He said, and then all of this stuff that came tumbling down on top of you in 2019, first part all the way down to the middle of 2019, has just, you know, overwhelmed your ability to cope. And, you know, your system thinks you're under attack again and all the time. So he said, I would like for you to try some medication, short-term medication, and if it works, then we'll know that's it, you know. And I can't even remember the name of it, but he said, if it gives you relief, he said, you'll feel relief in a half an hour to an hour.
yeah.
And he said, if you feel, because I was like trembling,
Yeah, oh,
I
yeah,
was
he
just, I don't know, could you see it? Because I felt like you could see it. I mean, I felt like, that's what I felt like on the inside all the time. Like I was just
Yeah, just
under
so
attack
jittering,
for
just
no
shaking.
reason, just
Yeah.
jittery. And he said, if I'm right that your neurotransmitters or receptors or whatever were fried, then he said, when you take this medicine, within a half an hour to an hour, you'll feel better. And you know what? I did. So,
yeah, it was amazing.
yeah, so I'm not ashamed to say, and I don't want anybody to be ashamed to say, listen, better living through chemistry, and I needed help, medicinal help. And so what we did was we charted a plan. I couldn't continue to take that little piece of medicine he gave me because it was addictive. And it was a short-term thing and basically just an experiment for him to see, because it would let him know if he had put his finger on the issue. So he put me on some other medication that he said I'll take for about a year, and it will allow my neuro whatever things to heal. And then I'll be able to wean myself off of that after about a year, and everything will be good. So rest assured, in fact, at the Homesteading Life Conference in Missouri, Doug and Stacy's Homesteading Life Conference, Patty's scheduled to do another sourdough class,
Yep.
and I'm actually scheduled to do my When Trauma Strikes class, how to survive the aftermath of trauma. Well, guess what? I've got a couple of new slides in that presentation because you could feel the effects of a critical incident well after the incident is over, and that's what happened to me. So I'm doing so much better now.
Yes.
So much
no
better.
effects of that anymore.
Yeah,
The medicine
no effects.
really has helped.
It's really helped. I don't know if I probably hadn't even told Patty this, but occasionally I'll feel a little something in my jaw, like a little tremble in my jaw, but it's no big deal, and I just don't pay attention to it. But other than that, I mean, as far I have been in the midst of some high stress, highly tense situations with my job since then. No big deal. I mean, it's no big deal.
Yeah,
So
able to handle it
yeah, I'm handling it like a pro.
What you talking about dates and everything, I just realized, because I was still back in 2019. We're in 2020 now, if y'all didn't realize that. And so the hollers were here in 18, not 17.
Okay, well, that makes me feel better.
Sorry. See, I'm not always right, but I do realize
They
when I'm
must not have
wrong.
made a very strong impression on us. They know
You're
I'm
so
kidding.
ugly.
They
You're
know
so
I'm kidding.
ugly.
We love us some Ben and Meg Holler.
That's right.
We've been to their place.
Shh.
And can't wait to go back.
All right, now. Also,
Was that
let's see.
too long? You were worried I was going to talk way too long on my part.
Well, it's almost been 30 minutes, so
No, it hadn't.
27, darling.
Not on my part. That's the whole thing.
Shh.
Most of that was you.
I can't read what I wrote right there. But also, Carly Ann was working a summer camp over the summer in Pennsylvania, where she's worked before. And
I'm tapping the cap, and she's telling me to stop.
I'm telling you to stop because they're hearing it on
Oh,
there.
yeah, true.
Yes.
My bad. I'm a tapper.
Anyway, Carly Ann was working at camp, and they offered her a full-time job. And so
And she took it without asking.
she took it. Yep, she did. So now we have 2 kids that are far away. But
Like on the opposite corners.
yeah, but we're very glad for her. We're very, very happy for her that she was able to get that job, and she loves it. She's doing what she loves to do.
You know
So,
where we prefer our children to be?
on the farm.
Well, yeah. We prefer our children to be right where God wants them to be.
That's right. That's
And
right.
I feel pretty doggone confident that Pennsylvania is where God wants Carly Ann to be right
That's
now.
right.
So.
That's right. And of course, we went to the Hootenanny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was such a great time. We took the train there, and we planned on taking the train home, but that didn't happen. But that's another story. And so you talked about Doug and Stacy already, And so we did go to their conference last August.
And we got to go to their house.
Oh, it was amazing.
Oh, man.
We had so much fun. We helped them pack up some of the stuff for the conference and everything, and got to see their place. And we have pictures that we actually took of their place. And
I probably got a video of it somewhere.
You do, yeah. No,
Somewhere.
I think we just took snapshots.
Yeah.
I think that was we were kind of out of that mode altogether of video and things. But
I've got video of Polyface Farm from 2 Homestead America's
yeah,
Homesteaders
that's
of
from
America
2017
ago.
Yeah.
A personal tour by Joel Salatin himself.
And
I haven't edited it.
That's
and
because
put it up
he's
yet.
falling down. He's slacking.
Bad.
But anyway, we had an amazing time at Doug and Stacy's. The conference was amazing.
Amazing.
I did a sourdough class, and I was like, you know, I didn't know how many people would be in there or what. I shared my favorite recipe. That it's a new recipe, and I really haven't done any videos on it. I have given out the recipe some, so that's one of the next videos that I need to be doing is showing how to do that because it makes amazing pita bread.
Oh,
Just
the best
amazing.
pita bread.
Yes, and I've tried for years to make good pita bread, and I just haven't been able to figure it out. But sourdough pita, it's just amazing.
Let me tell you, I've never had pita bread this good. I've never bought pita bread this good in the store. I've never had pita bread this good in any Mediterranean restaurant anywhere. It is the best pita bread on the planet.
And his favorite was some I made yesterday because I've been using some spelt flour. And so that's something I've been experimenting with. And that's what I plan to share some videos with some of the different flours that I've been using because I've been trying to use some other stuff besides just regular wheat.
Oh, wait now, we're not talking about the future yet. We're still.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So back to Doug and Stacy. Let me just
yes.
tell you this. Y'all, they are
amazing.
just the realest, kindest. Look, Doug comes off like a blowhard. Doug, you're a blowhard, but no. Let me tell you something,
They're so
man.
ugly.
Those people are so kind and so supportive and
Yes.
so encouraging. You know, you get the haters on the internet, right? And they're talking about how they're in it for themselves and blah blah blah. Let me tell you something,
They're
man.
about community.
They're all about community. And about encouraging and supporting others trying to do it, you know, to live a more sustainable life.
That's
and,
right.
We love them.
Yeah.
I mean, we just love them.
We sure do. We sure do. Okay, so so September, I started having problems with my thyroid again. And if y'all don't know, I have Graves' disease, and I've been doing fine, and everything. I never
And
had to-
Hashimoto's, right?
Well, I don't know. That's all confusing to me. But anyway, my thyroid doctor moved, and my thyroid numbers had gotten normal and everything. And so I just never went to another thyroid doctor. So I started having problems. I could tell I started having my hot flashes again and all kind of different stuff. And so I got an appointment with I started trying to get an appointment with the thyroid doctor. And so I finally got one, but the appointment wasn't until, was it January? Anyway, this was back in October, I guess. I finally got my appointment. So anyway, so I was starting to have problems and everything with that. And we also bought a van around that time, a giant white van.
Charles calls it the bread truck.
The bread truck.
One of my coworkers.
Yeah.
He calls it the bread truck, which it kind of is. But
Yeah, it's going to be hauling some bread to the market. I can put a lot of bread and tomatoes up in that thing, but we also put beds in it. So it's our camper van.
It's amazing, yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
we
we're
took
like
it.
loving it.
So have we got to the Homesteaders of America yet?
We're there now.
We're there now. Speaking of the van,
Yep.
so we decided I took a little extra time off and we said, look, let's go see Carly Ann.
Yes.
And so we had to drive all.
Well, wait. Let's start off first. We left here and this was kind of really like a vacation because we didn't just go straight to a conference and straight back like we normally do because we're counting vacation days. We actually got to go and see Big Bear and Robin.
Yeah, we
Yep,
did. We went to
did.
Big Bear Homestead.
And that was our first stop, I think, right?
Was it?
I think so. I mean, we spent the night somewhere. and then we
Oh,
went
yeah,
to Big Ben
yeah,
Roberts.
yeah. We were gonna, that's right. We were gonna stop and see Sebastian.
Yeah, and we weren't able to do that.
One of the Colombian fellows that
Played with
that
Corey.
played tennis with Corey, and he actually had tennis practice
Yeah.
early in the morning, so we didn't get to see him. So yeah, we got to go to Big Bear Homestead.
And we got to spend, we spent the morning there one morning, me and.
More than a morning. I mean, I didn't think we'd ever get away from it.
Yeah, we did.
No, we had a great time.
But,
and you cooked a little bit
we
with
did.
Dessa, right?
Yeah, with LaDessa. Me and LaDessa made bread in the kitchen. We played with a few different things.
Dessa's like a sourdough queen
Oh,
now.
she is doing amazing. We made queen loaves and cheesy bread. That's what we made there. And so we had just a neat time and getting to walk over their place and see some of the plans that they have for different things and everything. So it was really, really neat.
Yeah, so much potential on that piece of property.
And we
So
left
much.
there, and then Tommy spoiled it. Then we got to go by the Hollers.
Did I spoil? Oh, I did say that. We went
Yeah.
to their house.
It was so neat to get, and I felt the same way when the Big Bears and we went to the Pratts the first time to their house, because you see it on the video, and then when you see it in person,
Oh, there's
it
that.
yeah, and I mean it looks different too.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how it looks, the camera angles and stuff like that. Sometimes I find when we film, we're real hilly, and a lot of times you can't see the hills, in the video
In the
and
videos,
everything.
you can't really.
So things do look a little different. So
Also, lots of potential at the holler place.
it's amazing, and they are hilly too. They're hilly.
They've actually got terrace rows.
Yeah, they do. They do. And
Hundreds of years old.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that was just really neat. So we got the tour of there, and they actually cooked supper for us, so we got to eat supper with them and everything, and we went on our merry way heading to see Carly Ann, and then we spent the night, we stayed in Love's Truck Stops,
Yeah.
and
Patty mentioned earlier we built beds in the
Yeah.
back of the van. So talk about a cheap way to travel.
yes.
We would stay in the parking lots of Love's Truck Stops.
And people did it in cars too. You don't have to have a van or a camper.
Yeah.
And it's free. It
Yeah,
doesn't
they
cost
allow
anything.
you to do that. So,
Yeah.
and then we wised up and we realized that we would look for, because all the Love's Truck Stops have restaurants in them. Some of them have 2 restaurants in them.
That's
and
right,
you'll
2
find
different ones.
Subway and Wendy's, and I think Wendy's. But anyway,
Chicken place or something.
yeah, Chester's Chicken or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Anyway, but a lot of them have McDonald's in them. Well, I love McDonald's coffee. It is my favorite coffee. In fact, I buy McDonald's coffee at Walmart
Yeah.
to make, here. I just love it. And so we would find the Love's Truck Stops that had McDonald's in them. So that way we didn't have to make coffee in the morning. We'd
That's
wake
right.
up, walk inside, and pay $1, for coffee. Bam, and you got your coffee.
Yeah, it was really a neat way to travel. But then we made it on up to Carly Ann's the next day, but we've seen pictures of where she works, and so it was
Gorgeous.
so neat to see it in person. Oh, you know what I didn't put on the list, but I'm remembering. I guess I won't mention that though.
What, being something that
When we're
happened
sick,
there?
when we're sick.
Oh,
Leave.
we were?
Leading up to our trips, we had both been having stomach
yeah.
issues.
Oh,
and we
yeah.
we found out we had bacteria in our water, so we had to treat our well.
Yeah,
While we were gone, we were having to call and have our
Call
well
back,
treated.
and Corey was having to work with them, and
our
we
plumber
didn't.
come
It
out.
wasn't E. coli, but it was another
It was
coliform,
coliforms. Yeah.
which is a family member of it.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
Hell, that was crazy.
It was
that was
crazy.
But anyway, it just made me think about that because when we first got to Carly Ann's, he was sick again.
bad.
Yeah, it took him a little while to get that out of his system. It got out of my system a little faster
A little
than it got out of
fast.
his.
But why?
He thinks he drinks so much water, but anyway.
No, but I mean, this I keep these
He
bottles.
I'll tell you why he got sick again, because he brushed his teeth in the water before we left, and I had told him not to.
Oh, did I? Mm-hmm. Oh. But
So,
anyway,
anyway.
before we knew we had the problem with the water, you know, when I travel, I'll buy this bottled water, this smart water, whatever, not because it's smart, but because it tastes like my well water. And
Oh, I had plans of bringing our water with us. That's scratched. We
yeah,
bought water.
we bought water. But my point is, I keep these bottles and, you know, and we'll fill them up in the sink. And so I had, anyway, but I was sick as a dog. I slept one day, 2 days.
A whole day. But
in the van.
The reason that we got that in our well is because we had a broken pipe, and it was broken in two. And we didn't know. My sister Julie had worked with Public Works for years, and she told us we should have poured Clorox in both ends of the pipe before we glued it back, fixed it, and we didn't know. So that's how the bacteria entered in. So anyway.
I ain't exactly a handyman.
It's just something that happened. But anyway, we got to have a visit with Carly Ann and see where she's living and working and
Just
loving
stunning.
life. It's just, oh, it's
Stunning.
amazing. And then they're having snow. And I told her, I said, they're going to think you're crazy when it snows because you're going to be so excited. And she is. She just sends video and just giggles, you know. She's, you know, so excited.
Because it's like real snow.
And she kept Sugar Bear. She did. We
Yeah.
brought the two little dogs
We brought
with us on
Tootsie
the
and
trip.
Sugar Bear.
And she kept Sugar Bear up there. So Sugar Bear's living in Pennsylvania.
Sugar Bear's a snow dog. We miss her. We miss Sugar, but she's with her mommy.
Yep, she's happy. But on the way down to the Homesteaders of America conference in Front Royal, we actually went through Amish country in I just went blank. Where did we go? In Pennsylvania, Lancaster. We went, and so we got to go to we went to a little tour thing, and to see
To like an Amish.
it was like a
home
museum,
farmstead,
yeah. And then we
It was an actually used to be an Amish family that lived in that house.
right, and they bought it. But anyway, I wanted to really stop at some of the little roadside stands and everything, but they didn't have that many of those because the time of year, they're not having produce and stuff like that. We did go eat ice cream at an Amish shop there, and we went to like a little, kind of like a farmer's market, but you know, it was very commercial and everything.
You know, it's been 41 minutes.
I know you're talking too much. And then we finally made it to the Homesteaders of America conference, and that was just, it was good. It was good. We actually stayed at a campsite with our friends Kim and Billy from Made by Heart Homestead.
Hey, Kim and Billy.
And so we had such a good time getting to visit with them and everything. And
You taught a class.
I taught a class. We had a bread class, and it was actually the class before
Right.
it was the
On the
Thursday
before the conference started on Friday.
And so I think I had 5 people. So it was a hands-on class. Everybody got to make bread. They got a starter kit, which came with a dish pan and measuring cups and sourdough starter. They got to bring home dehydrated sourdough starter and liquid sourdough starter ready to use.
They got to make some pita bread.
Yes, and so that's where
On a little propane burner.
Yeah, we did it. We made the pita bread outside. We had ovens there that we actually baked their bread in. And so the class really went great. I think it was a 2-hour class. Yeah. No, 2 or 3.
No, I think it was
4
like 4 hour
It was
class.
Yeah, it was a long class. But anyway, everybody got to make breads. It was hands-on. And so that really, really went good. And I really enjoyed that class. And it was just the right amount of people, too,
Yeah.
that, you know, everybody got to really...
And the ladies
Ask
seemed to
questions.
really enjoy it. There was
Yeah,
a lot of
and
laughing and
Yeah,
you know.
I'm still in contact with some of them. So
Oh,
yeah,
neat.
they'll send me a
I didn't even
text
know
and
that.
ask me a question, or send me. Yeah, well, one girl, Amy, she is just really taking off with it and trying different recipes. There's one that's really a really neat, like a star made with cinnamon and stuff. It's really pretty. I need to do that one day. But
Yeah, it sounds like you do need to do that, like tomorrow.
So, but the conference really was good. We
And it
got
was
to see
neat.
a lot of people too that we hadn't seen, had gotten to visit with. You know.
Yeah, because we didn't have, Patty did that class, but then we didn't have a booth or anything.
Right.
So,
Right.
And we did that on purpose because we were like, when we got a booth, we missed so much.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
It's nice to make the extra income when you're doing a booth and all, but it was really neat to be able to meander
Mingle
around and
yeah.
visit with folks and.
It really was neat. And also, something else big happened in October. Tomas turned 8 years old. Y'all, he's getting so big.
He just needs to stop.
He's getting so big.
He is getting big. You ought to see him play tennis. My goodness.
Yep. And let's see. Then, of course, we had Thanksgiving, and we went down to Louisiana. We, when Mama was here and couldn't travel, every holiday was here. And so it was funny. My nephew's wife, when we were talking about Christmas at Thanksgiving, she was like, "Well, we'll have Christmas at Patty and Tommy's," and I'm like, "No, we may never have Christmas here again." And she's like, "What?" Because it's always been here since she's been around,
Yeah.
And I said, the only reason it's been in Mississippi all the time is because Mama was here and couldn't travel. So anyway, 'cause it was funny that, she didn't realize that. So, but it's just because, that's the way things have been for quite a while now. But we don't mind going down there. Tommy's sister's down in Louisiana too, so we got to do Christmas with them and everything. We also, the kids had a rope swing out back, and we spent some time out there with Tomas. We introduced Tomas to the rope swing.
Let me clarify that. Our kids, who are now 30, 28, 25, and 23,
Almost.
had a rope swing, on a place of the property when they were kids.
Yeah.
And it's still there.
It's still
And
there.
it's not dangerous or rotten or
Yeah.
anything. So
we introduced Tomas to that. So I have some pictures of that. That's why I thought to mention that when I was going through my camera roll,
Okay.
trying to look at everything, that's happened in this last year that we want to bring up. But anyway, so also in November, my sister Julie retired from her job.
y'all know Julie,
Yeah,
right?
y'all know Julie.
Nod your
And-
head, yeah.
Anyway, she had been working for the city of Baker for 27 years, and they had a surprise retirement party for her. And so that was really, really neat.
Oh, it went so well.
was really
Those
neat.
ladies at the city of Baker just knocked it out of the park. It was really special.
Another thing that I've been doing, I've been traveling down to Louisiana a lot, trying to clean out Mama's house, me and my two sisters. She still had a house down there, and so a lot of her stuff was still in it. And unfortunately, back, I guess it was around in November, we found termites. And so we had to rip out a wall, have the house treated for termites, and now we have to replace some floor in there. So that's been something that's been really keeping me busy too,
Yeah.
is having to, find time to go down there running back and forth. So then we're to December. I'm trying not to skip anything. And what you doing? Don't let them see my list. I probably spelled things wrong. Quit. We're almost done. Look, it's only going to be an hour. Tommy celebrated his 3-year anniversary for the dog attack. Praise God for that.
Yeah, and I did celebrate it because, it's the anniversary of Christ showing himself large on my behalf and on our behalf, and
It was a huge blessing. He
the
blessed us.
opportunities to share the gospel that have resulted from that have just been
Amazing.
astounding.
Amazing.
So I wouldn't volunteer to do it again, but I'm glad it happened. For His glory.
That's right. Also, we've not had very good hunting success in the last few years, but that all changed this year.
Yeah, I really haven't been able to hunt for various reasons.
Well,
hardly.
and then when you were hunting, we had the poachers that had the deer on the run and everything. So Tommy has actually got a doe and a buck this year, and so I feel sure that's going to be enough meat to last me and him. Now, we didn't make any into sausage, or anything like that.
We used to like to get 4 when we had
Yeah.
all 6 of us, when we had
Yeah.
all 4 kids here. So 2 ought to do us. I would have liked to have gotten 1 more and would have, I think, but my work schedule picked up.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to do it. But Tomas came hunting with me a couple times, and it was really special.
There is another thing that has taken place this last year that's or just recently that's been very, very sad for us, our family. Tomas, I'm going to tell y'all because y'all know Tomas and everything, and we're not going to go into great detail. It's not our business to tell, but our daughter Chelsea and her husband Guillermo, which is Tomas's mom and dad, have gotten divorced. And so that's been something that's been, been being dealt with over the last couple of years, and has been, very hard that things coming to a head and everything, and that's over. So,
But to their credit, they've committed to one another to work together as friends and parent Tomas.
To be the best parents they can be for
the best
Tomas.
parents they could be.
That's right, and they're working together, and we're very, very proud of them for doing that.
Yes,
So,
very grateful for that.
But as y'all know, that wasn't an easy road for us to be walking through, dealing with everything
In
else.
the midst of
that's been,
everything else.
Going
Yeah,
on.
so-
And I'm gonna stop right here and say too, that, I made sure I said a while back that, when going right into the wedding and going right into the farmer's market, I was like, I need to make sure I'm grieving and everything. Well, I tried to do that, but I just went through a spell where I was just really depressed. I finally figured, I told Tommy, I said, I'm depressed. I'm just depressed. And it was like finally coming to the point, and then my thyroid was acting up. And by the way, it's fine. But 3 months later, when I got to go to the doctor, all my numbers came back great. And I'm like, well, yeah, it doesn't seem swollen anymore either. But, I've got a doctor now I can call and go to quickly if I need to. But, with the thyroid, it makes your emotions kind of be up and down too. And, I've had a hard year emotionally. I've been depressed. And a friend of mine that I reconnected with, she came to Mama's visitation. And we had reconnected after years of not talking and seeing each other. Not that we were mad at each other. She had just moved off. I moved off.
Yeah.
And anyway, her name is Risha. But her mom actually died the month before her daughter married, after Mama died and my son got married.
Oh, gosh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so we kind of have walked through this together a little bit, me being a little bit ahead of her in the process, but she was taking care of her mom too, which had dementia.
I knew that, but
Yeah.
I'm dumb and didn't make the connection.
Yeah, that it
Wow.
happened the same. Yeah. But anyway, they came. We're gonna be having some work done on the house, and we'll be showing some videos about that too. But anyway, her and her husband had came up, and me and her were talking, and we're saying that with us taking care of our moms, and I'm not diminishing my mama, but it was like having another child because she was totally dependent on me as your children are. And that gradually went from, me just maybe bringing her some food over here to me actually feeding her food to her just drinking. So it really progressed the opposite of your kids, because with your kids, you're feeding them milk and then they start eating solid food, then they start walking, they start getting more independent. With your elderly parents that are just going down.
It's in reverse.
It's in reverse. And so they become more and more and more dependent on you, and you're more tied so tight to them. And with your kids, it's not that they go from needing you to being gone and they're not here. It goes from them having friends and going to friends' houses to starting to drive to being gone more, to having a job to being gone a lot, going to college and then coming home. So it's a gradual thing. With Mama and with my friend's mom, they gradually became more and more 100% dependent on you, and you were spending 100%. If my sisters were not here helping me, towards the end, I didn't even run to town and leave Tommy, because it wasn't to the point Tommy can take care of her. It was 100% my waking and sleeping time was Mama. And then she left. Mm-hmm. Then she was gone. Mm-hmm. And I went through time thinking, what is my purpose? Mm. What am I supposed to do? I didn't feel like gardening. I didn't feel like making YouTube videos. It was just such a weird time. Mm-hmm. a strange time that I wasn't prepared to walk through. And like I said, I was trying to make sure I was grieving like I was supposed to and everything. But the change that happened, I've never had an empty nest until now. And it happened like that. Corey was 16 when Tomas was born. And Mama came to stay here, I took care of Tomas. Chelsea was in college, so we would have Tomas all week. So it was like I still had a kid, you know. Even as Corey went off to college, I had Tomas. And then I didn't have Tomas so much, I had Mama. So, you know, I've never had an empty nest, and I didn't have that gradual getting away from an empty nest like you do with your children. Mm-hmm. I had a gradual of more and more dependence, and then that was gone.
And then, bam.
So, you know, I come to that realization talking with Risha, my friend, and realizing that I had been depressed. Now, it's a situational depression. It wasn't a chemical depression or anything. I haven't gone and gotten on medicine or anything, and I've had another tear come. I still will cry some. But I'm better. I feel like myself again. We've been working in the high tunnel because I wanted to, not because I had to.
Hang on, hold that thought. So, just to add a couple points to that. So the weekend that Patty's mom died, both of her sisters were here, mm-hmm. and she passed away on a Friday night. Mm-hmm. And so her sisters stayed the night, and then they left sometime Saturday morning to go back to Louisiana. And Patty and I were sitting in our little love seat type chair next to each other, and at some point, the silence was stunning.
Because we don't always have the TV on. We're not, we don't like that. So we.
Yeah, well, I would be if she wasn't here. Yeah. But she don't let me watch TV. But for 3 years or whatever it was, we kept the TV on for Patty's mama constantly.
Yeah. Even back in the bedroom, we could still hear it out here.
Hear it.
Not loud, but you knew you could hear noise. And
for the last year, there was an oxygen machine.
Well, maybe not a year running. It wasn't running. And she had an air bed too that made noise too.
Yeah.
And you get used to those noises, and they came and got all that stuff.
It was all gone, or maybe that was Sunday morning. Maybe they came and got it Saturday. Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. The day or so.
Well, it was all turned off after she died, though.
I guess you're right. So I just can't remember if it was that Saturday or if it was the Sunday morning. Whatever. It just was jarring. Yeah. And then along about, I don't remember exactly when it was that we realized that Patty and I were living in a house by ourselves for the first time since before Cameron was born. Mm-hmm. Because
in almost 30 years.
In almost 30 years.
30. He just made 30 this year, so I guess in 30, yeah. Well, no, because we didn't have him until we had been married a couple of years, so mm-hmm. for at least 25, 27 years.
Yeah. So the silence was just deafening.
Yeah, it was just it was just.
I've gotten used
different.
to that now,
mm-hmm.
haven't you? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
I like quiet. It's not that. It's just that
it was a new experience.
It was just such a switch, such a change.
Just like that.
Yeah. Bam. Yeah. Again, I've already told you my thyroid's clear, so I'm glad of that. Very, very glad of that. But
so have we covered all the past? Now we need to talk about the future.
Oh. We might need to make a different video.
Nah, let's do it. Let's do it. They ain't got nothing else to do.
So, yeah, I think so. I started talking about the high tunnel. We've been working back in the high tunnel. We've got it all cleaned out. I never got my tomato plants out from last spring. I mean, in the last month, I just finished getting them out. Mm-hmm. and I should have had them out. You shouldn't leave them like that because of disease and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. I do have some mustard greens planted in there, which I'm pulling them out because they're full of bugs. I'm scared that the bugs are going to get on my tomatoes when I plant them next month, so I'm pulling the mustards out. And I have broccoli and kale growing.
It looks great.
Yeah, that's really doing good, and some lettuce. So that's all I have growing
What
right
else
now.
you got in there?
I have lights. Y'all. If y'all know, I'm allergic to the sun, so I can't be out all day. You know, I can work in the early mornings, late evenings, but you know, it gets really, really, really hot here, and so I've
And so you
been
can work in
wanting-
the high tunnel more as you can outside.
Yes, I
but
can.
still,
So the high tunnel helps. I can stay out till 10, 11
it's
o'clock
got
in the high
a
tunnel.
shade cloth on it.
Yeah, but I have been known to wear my headlamp and be crawling around in the garden in the dark, and him saying, "Come on, it's time to go." Doing, you know, working out in the garden, so it's so much cooler then. And so now, what we're going to start doing is taking a nap at 5 o'clock and taking a nap till about 6, and then we're going to go work in the high tunnel till 10, baby.
Okay.
Sound like a plan? But anyway, so I'm really excited. I've already ordered my tomato plants. I'm not trying to grow them. I had a hard time growing my tomato plants last year because I should have planted them in January. And it's just really hard to get them growing. They don't have a lot of sun then, and it's cold. And so this year it hasn't been that cold though, so I probably would have been more successful. I ended up buying some tomato plants last year, plus planting some of mine. So I just thought I would just order them, and so I have done that. And so I'm just real excited about, I'm planting all big beef in the high tunnel for my market crop. And I am gonna plant some heirlooms outside of the high tunnel. And we're also making boxes to go. Tommy's already made my boxes. We have to get them filled with soil and everything. We got to do some dirt work in the back. We have some water issues.
Yeah, because they're going in the high tunnel. The boxes
Yeah,
are
they're
going
going to
in
go
the
in the
high
high
tunnel.
tunnel. I'm going to try and plant almost everything that we want to grow, our garden. I
If
want to
y'all
plant.
seen our high tunnel videos, you know there's a pretty big area back in what we call the back. And that's where the boxes are.
Yeah, we're gonna have 4 8-foot boxes, 4 4-foot by 8-foot boxes back there. Plus, I'm planting my little side rows. And so I'm gonna try and grow everything for me and Tommy to eat. I am gonna grow some green beans for the market in the high tunnel on one of the rows. And I'm gonna grow some okra on one of the part of a row, and I'm gonna grow cucumbers on part of a row. And that's going to be to sell at the market also. But that's where my focus is going to be. And I'm going to grow lettuce for the market.
I've been growing something too for months now.
Can you eat it?
I don't think so. It's this righteous looking beard.
Yes, your beard's looking good, baby.
That's looking pretty good.
Try to
isn't
make
it?
people have beard envy.
Man. I had
Quit
shaved
being-
it off, but
You're being, what's that word?
I don't know. But I just noticed how good it
Yeah.
looks when I'm looking in the thing like
What's
that.
that word?
I'm coming after you, Doug.
What's that word?
Uh,
Well,
narcissistic,
no,
egotistical,
no.
arrogant, boastful.
You're getting close.
Is it an ugly word?
What is that word?
I don't know. Move on. Talk about YouTube.
Oh, excuse me, beard man. Okay. One thing, Tommy, stop that. One thing that I want to start focusing on and stuff that we're doing and talking about is sustainability. That's one thing that's always been on my heart. With the different things that we've been at in our life, we haven't focused so much on being sustainable.
We started out wanting to be.
We started out that way, but life kind of, took us on a little detour. We've been maintaining and everything, but I want to start focusing more on sustainability. That would be my goal. We're never going to be fully sustainable if we're eating wheat, because I don't think, we can grow it here, but I don't know if we're going to want to do all the stuff you got to do to have wheat. But anyway. We may never be 100% sustainable in every area, the things we want to eat and stuff like that. But there are areas in our life that we can be more sustainable.
More sustainable and
100% sustainable in some areas. And so that's where I want to start putting my focus on doing things. And I have lists of stuff
That she's not going to go over now.
that I want to talk about on some videos in the future. Oh my goodness, Tommy, you're full of yourself.
You've been talking to her for a whole
That's
hour.
what I was going to say. You're just like full of yourself.
Oh.
What's that word? I can't think of that word. I'll think of the word. I'll post it.
Ugly.
Also, we want to, we started making a video of the van with the van build that we did. It was just really a quick thing. We may be changing our minds, so I do want to do an in-depth video about what we're doing with our van. We've been throwing around some different ideas about some different things. Probably before we kind of quit doing YouTube for a while, we had been throwing around an idea about doing a cooking show, and that's been still on my heart and on my mind during the day, like a regularly scheduled thing that we're thinking about doing. And so let us know if you're interested. If there's anybody still watching this video that's been going for over an hour,
Hello to our new viewers.
Yeah,
For those of you who just joined us.
let us know if you are interested in that. I would like your feedback. And so we've just been thinking about some other things, some devotion type things, Bible study type things. One devotion that I have been doing since the beginning of the year. Tommy got me this book.
Actually got us the book, but I hadn't been here.
Yeah, I've been doing the book, but I really, really enjoy this devotion. And so I've thought about maybe pulling some of the devotions out, going more in depth with them. It's just something that we've kind of tossed around. I don't know if I'm ready to commit to doing it every week, or maybe God will lead me to do that. So I would enjoy your feedback, on what you're thinking.
It's good stuff. Paul David Tripp, he's follow him on Twitter if you're on Twitter. If you do the Twitters, he gives these little, he's really good at these little concise snapshots. But you see there it says a daily gospel devotional. Man, we all need a dose of the gospel.
That's
of course,
right.
We all need a savior. But even those of us who've been born again, it's nice to have a daily injection of the gospel. That's the good stuff. So his devotions are gospel centered, and I bought the book. Really, I really did. I bought it for Patty and I. He did.
That's what he said.
To go through. I really did to go through together, and I just ain't hardly been here. You fitting to read the scripture?
I am.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to do it at the end, but you kind of.
Oh, okay. So Patty's thinking about doing kind of a ladies, devotional for you ladies out there, and I'm kicking around the idea of doing some Bible study series. I would love to do a Bible study series starting on the book of Colossians, which is probably. They're all important, of course. No book is more important. They're all the Word of God. But if I had to pick a favorite, if you put a gun to my head and say, which one's your favorite, Colossians probably would be it. Because it's all about the sufficiency of Christ. Mm-hmm. And so I may decide to do that. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Yep. And of course, we're going to keep doing our homesteading videos of show you what's going on around the farm. We still have animals. We've still been feeding the goats and the chickens and the pigs. And
who's about to have a birthday? Besides Carly Ann. Carly Ann's going to have a birthday. You just told me somebody's turning one.
Bean, our pet goat,
is still with us.
And she still does not know she's a goat.
Yeah.
She doesn't like to be around goats. They don't really like her much either, but she's with the goats.
She's with the goats, and she'll be turning a year in March, right?
I think that's when I saw pictures of her in March.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So old Bean.
Anyway, you got anything else?
I don't think so.
Well, I'm gonna read you Ecclesiastes 1 through I don't remember what.
We'll just read. Read till you get tired.
But my friend Therese actually sent me this. I'd shared with her what the things that I'd been going through, and I've known this scripture before, but this is so true. And it says, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to gain, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to throw away, a time to tear, and a time to sow, a time to keep silent, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace." So guys, that's what, we've obviously been in a time of mourning, a hard time in our life. We've been through a lot. We've had laughter, though, this last year. We've had some great joys, some great things have happened in our family. Carly Ann's job, Kayla and Corey getting married. Carly Ann graduating. Lots of wonderful, wonderful things. And we give God glory for the good and the bad.
All of it.
Because it's life, and He knew everything that was going to happen before it did. And so, we're not begrudging this last year, the bad parts of it. It's just been our life. And we wanted to share with you because we know you love us. We love you. And we wanted to know we wanted you to know where we've been this last year.
And a little bit of where we may be going. So
that's right.
That's a wonderful verse of scripture, and one that pops into my mind immediately that I think of a lot, really, is that in Romans, where Paul tells us that God works all things together for the good of those that love Him and who are called according to His purpose. And that phrase, all things, literally means all things. And so it means everything we went through in 2019, God was working those together for our good. It may take a while for us in our finite understanding to see the good. I would imagine that sometimes we may not see the good of something we go through until, this side of heaven. We may not fully understand it until we're in glory with Him. But I just think about like the dog attack. It didn't take very long for that horrific seeming event. And it was horrific. Don't want to downplay that. But it really didn't take long to begin to see the good that God was working.
That's right.
In us and through us. And so we can trust Him. He's completely trustworthy that He was doing the same thing through all of the ups and downs and the heartaches and the laughter that we experienced in 2019. So anyway, we look forward to seeing you on the YouTubes. And thank you so much, especially if you stuck with us this long, because we have been, mostly Patty, been really just babbling a lot. But it's good to be back.
Yep, it is.
All right. Thanks for watching. Give us what are we supposed to say? Give us a thumbs up.
Yes.
Subscribe if you're not, no, as Tomas would say, don't forget to subscribe. I don't know if he still says it, but
probably not. Anyway, it was good to be back. We hope y'all enjoyed this video, and we'll be seeing you soon.
Bye now.
Vain. That was the word, vain. He was being vain over the beard.
I bet you think this song is about you.
Oh my God.